A face-to-face meeting. I'm Deborah Valentine, Fox News. President Trump is expected to meet in person with Russian President Vladimir Putin on Friday in Alaska to discuss a possible peace deal between Russia and Ukraine. Fox's Lucas Tomlinson reports from the White House.
Vice President J.D. Vance, he says that both sides are likely not going to get what they want in this deal, should it happen.
We're going to try to find some negotiated settlement that the Ukrainians and the Russians can live with, where they can live in relative peace, where the killing stops.
Now, ahead of the summit in Alaska Friday, Russia continues launching drones into Ukraine with the help from China and Iran. Ukraine has been open to Trump-led ceasefire for months, but Putin continues to refuse. Russia wants more territory in eastern Ukraine's Donbas region, where most of Ukraine's minerals are located, and it's not clear what any potential deal with Russia would impact with Trump's mineral rights deal with Ukraine.
This will be the first in-person meeting between leaders of the U.S. and Russia since Moscow invaded Ukraine in 2022. President Trump says he will announce plans Monday for the federal government to step up the fight on crime in the nation's capital. Fox's Jack Callahan has the details.
The president plans a news conference at the White House to spell out plans to reduce violent crime in Washington, D.C., and to physically clean up the Capitol. In a weekend social media post, the president said D.C.'s Mayor Muriel Bowser is a good person who has tried, but the crime numbers have only gotten worse and the city dirtier. Hundreds of federal agents, including some from the FBI, the DEA, the Secret Service, and U.S. Capitol Police, among other agencies, were deployed Friday and Saturday nights in the district in an effort to drive down violent crime. Jack Callahan, Fox News.
A U.S. tourist visiting Puerto Rico for Bad Bunny's residency was fatally shot earlier today. America's listening to Fox News.
It's the Will Cain Show. Watch it live at noon Eastern, Monday through Thursday on FoxNews.com or on the Fox News YouTube channel. And don't miss a show. Get the podcast 5 days a week at FoxNewsPodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Left and right-leaning states are poised to battle for control of Congress through redistricting. We get more from Fox's Grinnell Scott.
Democratic governors such as New York's Kathy Hochul say President Trump is trying to manufacture an advantage to keep control of Congress by creating GOP House districts in Texas.
There's a blatant power grab to maintain power in our nation's capital. This is what I call a legal insurrection.
Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott says he wants the seats being created to reflect the will of minority voters who went conservative.
But they are trapped in one of these gerrymandered districts that confines it only to electing a Democrat.
Both governors on Fox News Sunday. Texas Democratic lawmakers left the state, blocking efforts to approve redrawn district maps. Grinnell Scott, Fox News.
ICE officials have arrested an alleged child predator in Rhode Island after police released him back to the community shortly after he was originally arrested.
ICE says it immediately issued a detainer for the suspect, only to have it ignored. Thankfully, federal agents were still able to find Josue Santiago Perez Gomez after he was released, get this, locally on bail. ICE says Josue Santiago Perez Gomez is a Guatemalan national who entered the U.S. illegally, but the feds aren't sure where or when he came through. The suspect's attorney has not responded to our request for comment, but the Boston Globe quotes the lawyer as saying, Mr. Perez Gomez has a clean record and maintains his innocence, as is his right to do so. He was released on bail with conditions and would have remained on bail, complying with those conditions until he was given his day in court. ICE has deprived Mr. Gomez of those rights.
That's Fox's C.B. Cotton reporting. Bo Hines, who headed President Donald Trump's Council of Advisors on Digital Assets, is leaving his role and returning to the private sector. I'm Deborah Valentine. This is Fox News.
It's Will Cain Country. Watch it live at noon Eastern, Monday through Thursday at FoxNews.com or on the Fox News YouTube channel. And don't miss the show. Listen and follow the podcast 5 days a week at FoxNewsPodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
If you see something, say something, and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at NMICrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
As the day unfolds with laughter and cheer, Brad's got the magic that brings us all near. Sharing tales of hope, dreams that shine bright. Good morning, Marianas, together we ignite. So join the palm trees, we dance through the days. Rhythm and soul, so many ways. Together we rise through the moments we share. Good morning, Marianas, feel the love everywhere. Wake up to the sunshine in the morning light. Good vibes all around, everything feels right. Brad on the show, bringing joy to our day. Into the Marianas breeze, let the worries drift away. Yeah, that was the air. Our connection grows stronger. We show that we care. Rock on to feel the soulful flow. Live right on in Mariana, that's where you belong. The sweet island breeze and the ocean's embrace. Brad's got the stories, sunlight behave. Southside meditated, fall in this ride. Yeah, we're shining with love as I guide. So raise your voices high, let the music play on. Good morning, Marianas, we're where you belong.
Good morning, Marianas. Holy cow. Good morning, everybody. It is 8:04 in the morning right now. Can you believe it? I can't. I mean, I barely can. That it's Monday morning already. We made it through the weekend, and what a weekend it was. There was so much going on out here in the Marianas, but we are back again today for your regular installation of your weekday morning show. It is Good Morning Marianas. There's a lot of stuff going on this weekend. Between that badass badminton happening down the street over at the Ada Gymnasium, and that was pretty intense. Was that the only thing going on? How about, no, it wasn't. We also had some crazy weather going on. And then we got all kinds of updates on everything that was happening that we're going to get you caught up with today, including the return of some artifacts, Chamorro, Carolina artifacts making their way back to the Marianas, stuff that's been gone for such a long time. It's amazing that we're finally getting this stuff back, but there was this big ceremony in Hawaii that just happened, and we're going to have someone on the show that can help bring that to you today. And so we're going to do that here in just a second. But my goodness, what a day it was. It was absolutely wild yesterday. Finally, we got some decent weather over the weekend. But anyway, let's talk about a little bit about what we've got going on today. It's 79 degrees outside right now, and it's looking awesome. It's about as nice as it can be. 79 degrees. Humidity is at 89%. You need a little aircon still, but it could be worse. We're looking at scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout today. Partly sunny skies. High near 87. And winds out of the east. Still pretty light winds. It's not that bad at all. But the good news is that it's going to be nice tonight, too. We're looking at partly sunny skies with low around 77 and another nice light wind. Can't beat it with a stick. Anyway, I'll tell you what, traffic around Saipan is not always fun, but it could be miserable out there on some days. Today's not one of those days. We're still in really good shape, thank goodness, because school has not started back yet. But once it does, you know we're going to need some loving. And right now, that is what we're looking at right there. It is currently a little busy as people are starting to make their way around the Marianas. That's right. That's what it looks like in Saipan right now. Just down the street from us over at the old AK intersection. Yes. It is looking a little bit slow in every direction, but don't fret. Don't fear. Because happy hour is almost here. Okay, not true. We got some time before we get there. Let's take a real quick look around traffic. Saipan's not looking too shabby at all. Beach Road's actually looking pretty good. It's going to look a little different, though, once schools open up again and we're able to see what's going on over there at MHS. But right now, Mount Carmel is in session. You can see there's a little bit of traffic building up over there at the fancy new intersection right there in front of the cathedral and the school. If you keep going south, though, still looking like crickets. You can't beat that. Look at that. All the way up to Guangdong Hardware. Let's go down Chalmon Senior Martinez. It even looks good in front of Knapp. And there's just a couple of cars that are hanging out over by Shell Dandan. That's not bad. How about the Back Island Road looking super nice? You gotta love it. How about everybody's favorite shopping district? That's right, the Rodeo Drive of Saipan up there on Capitol Hill. That's where you've got Capitol Hill Market, Zenu Market, New Sarah Market. It's all money. It all looks great. Can't beat that either. How about all the way down for folks that are trying to get past Ina's Kitchen? Hey, we're not open for breakfast. Oh, but wouldn't it be amazing if they were? I know. Keep dreaming, Brad. Anyway, they're down at the bottom of Issa Drive. Traffic's a little slow, not too bad. People are backed up all the way to Ina's Kitchen. You can almost smell the lunch special from here. Folks coming down from north side, stuck up at that light over there, but it's not too bad. Let's look at the tennis courts. What? I thought they were pickleball courts. Okay, they're kind of both over there by American Memorial Park. Just some folks trying to make their way south with an F. Along Middle Road, it's not looking too bad either once you get past Garapan. And it changes a little bit when you get into Gualarai, like for real. If you're trying to get south and you're on, and you're trying to get past Joe 10, forget it. When you get up to Triple J, no, that's how much I'm thinking about Jay's. I'm thinking about Jay's morning, noon, and night. When you're getting closer to Jay's restaurant and you're getting through Gualarai, it's starting to slow down for sure over there by Brabu. That's why you want to keep on going and zoom past them on your way to PHF Pharmacy. True story. All right, anyway, by Quartermaster, you got a little bit of backup over there by the Middle Road, both at Beach Road, at that tank, and over there on Middle Road. How about let's keep scrolling down over by the intersection that matters, at the place where connections matter. I-T&E looking a little bit sluggish if you're trying to go up the hill, but other than that, not too bad. It could be worse. I'm telling you what, it could be worse in the Marianas. You could have to buy gas all the time. Truth is, you don't. Excuse me as I clear my throat to the world there. Hey, I'll tell you what, we have an opportunity for you to get around without having to pay gas. Imagine, what would you do if you only had to pay $2? You can get a ride anywhere that you really need to be right now. Now, it's not island-wide, it's not Commonwealth-wide, but they're getting there. And when they full-on bring this thing online with fully expanded routes all over the Marianas, Transit CNMI is going to be your favorite ride because you're not going to have to worry about traffic. Have you ever gotten in to one of those buses on Transit CNMI? It's incredible. Not only do you get to just chill in air-conditioned comfort, they also have free Wi-Fi. Not kidding, folks. It's right there. And you can see where they are right now. There's the northbound bus is just about making its way to the end of the route in Garapan, all the way over there by Paseo. The southern one has already made its loop around over there by Jotan Dandan en route to the college. There's two other ones that show that they're not in service because they're just there just in case something goes down with one of the other buses. Guys, we are experiencing the birth of public transportation here in the Marianas, and it's through Transit CNMI. Can't get any better, but it will. But you can always tell people that you were there when it started. $2 each way and no stops. That's right. You just get on, you get off, that's it. If you're a student, a veteran, active duty military, if you're a Manamco, if you've got disabilities, it's half off. It's only $1 per ticket. That's right. And they operate just when you need them too. 6:30 in the morning to 8:30 at night. And on the weekends, they give those drivers a little bit of a head start to spend time with their family. 6:30 in the morning to 8 p.m. You can't beat it. You got to pay exact change. Don't go over there with rolling with 50s and Benjamins unless you got a whole lot of friends that you're going to pay for too. So that's how it works over there. And now you know where the bus is. You can find this for yourself too. It's online. This is how you can find out where the bus is. Transit CNMI. You can see it no matter what if you're waiting for it. This is a live look at where the buses are right now. It's the best thing since sliced bread. Can't beat it. All right, folks. Well, we've got a lot of stuff to do today, and thank goodness we don't have to wait in traffic. But if we did, we'd rather be on Transit CNMI. Well, we do have a lot of things that we're going to get to today, and some of those things are about what's happening here in our neck of the woods. And one of those cool things is that there's all these artifacts that are coming home, and I can't tell you how excited I am about this. I'm so excited. We're going to reach out and make a phone call to one of our friends of the show who knows a thing or two about these artifacts. And let's get her on the phone with us now. See if we can't get her. Senator, can you hear us?
Yes, Brad, loud and clear.
All right, so
can you hear me?
We can absolutely hear you, ladies and gentlemen. On the phone with us right now, we have our senator from Saipan, Selena Babauta. Senator Selena, you're out there in Hawaii right now. Can you tell us what's going on out there?
I just recently attended, in fact, yesterday morning, the ceremony at the Bernice Pauahi Bishop Museum to commemorate the beginning of the return of our artifacts that are over 100 years old.
Which is incredible. And I imagine, you sent some photos of all of these artifacts that are making their way back. And there was, of course, even a live stream that was there, powerful stuff to see everybody there. And, I loved that there were folks from the CNMI and Guam who were there, because it means so much to people from throughout our region.
Yes, exactly. Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio from Guam was here, along with the CEO of the Chamorro, the agency in charge of the Guam Museum, which handles their operations, Mr. Melvin Wanpat Borja, and others too.
Yeah, and
we also had from the CNMI, our NMI director, Mr. Lenny Leon. We had a representative from our Historic Preservation Office. It was unfortunate that our Indigenous Affairs Office and our Carolinian Affairs Office were not represented, but certainly I'm sure Director Lenny Leon carried their voices to the Bishop Museum as well.
Oh, yeah, and he's someone who's very deep into our culture here, too. And it's great to see that, he actually is an artist. I've seen him do a lot of the of those kind of some of the artwork and all that stuff. But these artifacts, quite a bit older than the recent crafted ones that he was had on display over there.
That's correct, Brad. If you really think about it, none of us were alive when these artwork were, made, not using any modern tools. They just had their skills and their ingenuity and their culture. If you see one of the things that are going artifact, one of the pieces that is going back to Saipan, at least, is the bead work. It's a Carolinian bead belt. And if you take a look at the detail of that, it is absolutely amazing at the skills they had over 100 years ago. Every single piece of turtle shell and coral is exactly the same size, the same width, the same everything. And their weaving skills, they used coconut husk to weave the belt and insert shells and coral on it. It's just absolutely amazing.
Well, it was we're showing the video now of the ceremony. We saw you there as well. You're from here. I have a great appreciation for everything here, but does this has to mean something a little bit deeper for people who are from the Marianas?
It certainly does, Brad. I was very humbled. The overwhelming feeling I had when I first saw the artifact inside the Bishop Museum was just one of deep respect, and you could feel the energy that came from these artifacts that were made over 100 years ago. And one of the things that came to my mind was, being in the presence of something sacred. These are not just objects. These are representations of who our people were back then. And the thought that came to my mind was the challenges and their times, and what their lives were like back then. That was one of the most deeply reflecting moments that I had with when I first viewed the artifacts on display inside the museum.
There looks like. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I personally thanked also the caretakers of these artifacts. For 100 years they were sitting inside the Bishop Museum uncatalogued because they couldn't figure out how to go about it. There were some missing notes between the field notes that Hornbostel detailed, but thankfully, due to one of their directors, they said somebody is going to ask for these soon, ask for these things back, and we need to start cataloging these. So they started in 2022. One of their staff, who is still currently on board at the Bishop, and I forgot her name, I will get it later, was able to decipher some of the coding that Hornbostel created with his field notes. He did keep some very detailed notes, and that is how they were able to identify where exactly they came from, which island, through his own numbering system. He was an amateur archaeologist that was in the military, U.S. military, and lived on Guam for a short while, and then married and moved to Hawaii, and then eventually he was hired by the Bishop Museum to go back to the islands, Micronesian islands, to get cultural items, for display at the Bishop Museum.
It's so powerful watching these images and thinking about like what it means, that tactile contact. I just watched this family, laying their hands on the parts of those ancient laddie stones and seeing like just the reverence and the respect and, just reconnecting at least by touch with a little piece of history. And it's not just Chamorros there. It looks like there's islanders there from all over.
Yes, some of the objects were also obtained from the other Micronesian islands, and those the Bishop Museum has a different approach about going about to return those items.
Wow, yeah, and I love seeing all the CNMI, the Guam, and the Hawaii flag all flying there on display for everyone. One by one, people coming up and laying offerings. I see some leis that are being placed there, and wow, just powerful.
Yeah, we didn't expect a lot of people, but surprisingly, there were at least, I want to say, 200 people who were present. They kept coming in, in droves. And it was not only the Chamorro and Carolinian diaspora that's here in Hawaii, but also local residents, Hawaiians themselves, were there to witness this because culture is a big thing in the Pacific, as you know.
Well, it is. Man, I couldn't get enough of it when I started watching it, and just the imagining what that must have been like in person. Again, to have such a gathering like that from people from all over, and to have, again, just thinking about history and how many places around the world where some items have been relocated for science or for historical displays. but just to see that these things are going to be coming home, where they're from, I just think it's amazing. It's wonderful. It's beautiful.
Oh, yeah, it is absolutely, Brad. Like I said, when I first entered the repository area that these were stored in, there was just a deep silence, in my heart, coming from the Marianas and being able to experience these in their presence. And we did the cultural asking for permission to be in their presence, not to be, not to disturb their area, but it's traditional in our custom to ask for permission to be with them and allow us to be in their presence. And one of the funny things about these artifacts is I asked Aloha Johnston, she's one of the directors for culture over at the Bishop Museum. I said, have you ever experienced animal experiences? And her reply was that, here at the Bishop Museum, we are never alone. So they have gone through some experiences in the presence of these artifacts, and we informed them of our protocol, cultural protocol, to ask for permission there. We had to do that yesterday before we went in and started handling all the artifacts.
Wow. So what is the process now for how they get back to the Marianas?
I believe the NMI director, Mr. Lenny Leon, has ironed all of those out. I know he will be taking some pieces back, some that of the pictures that you see going viral. Those are already packed, and they're going in a sturdy Pelican box to be hand carried back to the CNMI and Guam. Guam is here to reclaim their artifacts as well, some of it. There's over 2,700 pieces that belong to the CNMI out of the 10,000. Mm-hmm. So not all of them will be going back at one time. There's going to be gradual, return of these items depending on the availability of our staff to come out here and hand carry it back. I do know the U.S. military has been enlisted to help transport the Lati stones, and that's how they got here to Hawaii. The U.S. Navy they transported it to Hawaii. Wow. Back in the 1920s, and that's how they're going back. As to any agreement, that I believe is between the museum, Indigenous Affairs, Carolinian Affairs, and the Bishop Museum.
No kidding.
And I'm sure Lenny has that ironed out already.
They look a little bit too big to be carry-ons.
Yeah. Quite a heavy item.
So you've been out, you went out there to experience this and to get in touch with the culture and to be an official representation for the Marianas. It's too bad that not everyone was able to go.
I was just fortunate to be here. I was fortunate to be here on a personal trip, and I did see the flyer, and I asked Lenny if I could attend. He invited me to the personal private tour prior to the ceremony, a day prior to the ceremony. So that's how we were able to take the pictures and actually handle the artifacts. The pictures you see going viral were not on display yesterday during the ceremony. They are in an area at the Bishop Museum where only trained staff can access.
Wow. Well, thank you so much.
And we had to be escorted by Bishop staff. We had to go in an elevator, up a repository, and then that's when we entered the area where they were at.
Wow, it's just amazing to see that all this stuff was brought there from here in the first place. And then...
I know. I never even read about the story until I started seeing the flyers going, viral of the ceremony here, and that's when I started digging a little bit of information and how these artifacts came here to Hawaii. And the funny thing is, the Lati stones were one part of it. The haliki was in an area that was overgrown, and they didn't know what to do with it. somebody from Saipan eventually went and visited the Bishop Museum and told them how these things, which part went with what part. So basically that's when they brought out the haligi that you see in the pictures. That is from Rhoda, and put it with the tasa. So the two largest items in those pictures are from Rhoda. The rest of those Ladi stones are from Guam, actually. But the two biggest ones are from Rhoda.
Wow. So I've gotten some questions in the comments. They're like, wow, they moved the Ladi stones to Hawaii? I'm like, yeah, and you sent us a great link about the history of this and talks about that Hans Hornbosel, he was a amateur archaeologist hired by the Bernice Bishop Museum in Honolulu to collect these artifacts and other objects from the Marianas. And he returned to Guam back in the 1920s. He undertook, he was exploring all over and brought back about 2,000 pieces, including these massive Ladi stone pieces, piles of sling stones, pottery shards, stone implements, weapons, even human remains from Chamorro graves, which is just a little disturbing, actually, that last part.
Yes, and they acknowledged that. I'm grateful that Bishop Museum acknowledged, all the unethical removal of these artifacts and these structures from the Marianas, and they are trying to make it right, by sending these things back to their homeland.
Wow, it's just amazing that you got to be there for that too. And you said, so you're just on your own personal tour. And when you sent me a message about it, I love because everyone's paying attention to who's going where and who's spending what. And you're like, hey, I paid for this trip by myself, by the way. I'm like, okay, I got it.
Yes, Brad, I do. I just had to make that side note. Even my visit to meet with Teco Hawaii, that's on a personal paid trip, not government funds. Most of my trips are personally paid for.
Well, that's amazing because it seems like it would count for like official government travel. I mean, you're doing stuff for the Marianas, like something like this,
I could, Brad. It is a part of what I do in my position as a senator representing the CNMI and Saipan. But most of these trips I do pay for myself, and it's fine with me.
Wow. Well, I read a lot of the other news, by the way, so I know this was the main thing today, but the guys that I read, our buddy Troy and Johnny over there in Guam, they put out a story talking about you potentially running for governor in this next election.
Yes. Troy just sent me a message yesterday without any warning saying senator, addressed me by my title, even though he's a personal friend. And so I replied, it is something that I am considering, given the amount of support that I've been getting from the public, including the late Governor Arnold Palacios. When he was still alive, we would talk about it. But right now, Brad, my focus is on my duties as a senator. I think it's too early to declare anything. And I think everybody is just on the, fence waiting for the names to come up. And I don't hear much excitement right now on those who have or potentially have heard that might be running. So that would be a factor. There's a lot of factors to consider. This is not a decision you just make overnight and consider lightly. There's a lot of things that we need to do. And I think the people should look at the plans of the candidates. That's what it comes down to. What are their plans to get us out of this economic slump? Whether it's incremental, and I don't expect miracles in one night. We all have to work hard and come together and resolve these issues. But for so long, we've been distracted by petty politics, and I'm not about that, Brad.
Well, you mentioned about being in the Senate. We saw the other, the Variety had a story. It was basically Selena Babalta and the minority bloc, Population One. Like that you're kind of on an island these days. Does it feel kind of isolating? Or, I mean, now that Senator Paul is in there, does that give you someone else that you're close to in the Senate?
Yeah, Senator Paul is an ally. I rely on his institutional knowledge. He has, institutional knowledge on previous legislations that we need to guide ourselves with when introducing legislation today. He may tell you, that legislation has already been introduced and this is the problem with it. So I rely a lot on Senator Paul's institutional knowledge. It's unfortunate that, others have aligned themselves with the opposition, even though, and I have long been the lone voice, I think, of standing up against immoral legislation that do not help the common people, ordinary people like myself, who has to live outside of this, political arena after my term ends. And everybody should be looking at that, including constituents, should be looking at who has been there and has been the voice to help them, because if the legislatures do not understand what your issues are, how can they understand where to begin to help you?
Yeah, I could definitely understand that. And so this next election, is your seat one of the ones, or I don't remember because it's hard to keep up with all the elections with me, really. I know it's a general. I know that we've got senatorial seats coming up for Saipan. I just can't remember which ones are coming up.
Yes, so for every general election, there are 2 seats from the Senate that go up for re-election in all the municipalities. So Saipan, Tinian, and Rota will have 2 seats open for election. And next year will be mine and Senator Corina Magofnia's.
Wow, so that's a big decision for you.
At least from the stipend. Yeah, it is, exactly. Aside from what the constituents and strangers and relatives have asked me to seek higher office, also a consideration is whether I should run in the same seat as a senator, a re-election in the Senate seat.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say.
Those are options I'm weighing.
If it was an off year, I mean, I wonder how that would work. If it was an off year, who else is there? Manny Castro's in with you. Could somebody in one of those off years still be a senator while running for governor if they still had the other 2 years left on their term? I don't know how that works, but you
in the past, they have resigned, actually. Some, I think, 1 or 2 individuals have resigned from their Senate seat in order to run for governor.
Wow.
That's what I've been told. Yeah.
Well, now we know. But yeah. So basically, you've got a lot to figure out. If again, your current seat, to retain it, or to make a run for that, or if you're going to go for a bigger offer. I know it's all premature because you're still focused on what you're doing, but of course, the next thing is, who do you pick as a running mate? I know that's going to be like the big conversation now that everyone's going to start having.
I'm very much focused on my current duties today, Brad, in the Senate. In fact, at the end of this month, I'll be heading to Taiwan to meet with to participate in the largest parliamentary union assembly happening in Taiwan. And we will bring in legislative leaders from all over the Asian Pacific, Japan, Korea, Philippines, Micronesia, Guam, and the Sinai. And I have been personally invited to attend that parliamentary union. happening in Taiwan.
Wow, you've been, I've noticed you've been working with the folks from Taiwan quite a bit, especially with TECO, but now with this, how do you get that ball rolling? Like, how does that start? Because it seems like you're trying to make some kind of headway with our allies in the region and trying to forge some kind of partnerships with us. So where does step one with that begin?
Well, it starts with conversations. I was introduced to TECO last year, and from then on, I started fostering that relationship. I've introduced legislation to support them become members of global organizations like Interpol, WHO, as an observer. But unfortunately, due to external pressure, they haven't been included in the WHO organization. But I'm steadfast in my initiative to develop a relationship with Taiwan. Recently, I introduced NMC to TECO, and I was just a conduit to that. I understand that NMC and Taichung University will be signing or have signed an agreement to develop and grow our nursing program at NMC. In return, Taiwan is also interested in learning from NMC, their success stories. So that's a good thing for our NMC and for the entire CNMI, actually.
Wow. Well, I've had a couple of conversations with them because I know a couple of people who are friends with them, but I met them over the years. I didn't know that they were even from Taiwan when I first met them. Like Edward from GNC and the folks in the community. And then when I went to see the last October, went down to Guam for Landon's Tower for Humanity. They were building Taipei 101, and I got to meet some folks from the Taiwan community over there. So they've got a pretty good relationship over there in Guam, and hopefully, we end up getting something like that over here.
And, fostering relationships with Taiwan doesn't take overnight. It takes years and years of building up that trust among both island nations. And so that's what I've been trying to develop is a trusting relationship with Taiwan.
Do you think that could be a source for tourism for us? Is there an interest there for them to come here, or maybe some other kind of industries?
It certainly could be, but my focus is to try and get some of their manufacturing companies over to the CNMI. As we all know, Taiwan is the largest manufacturer of semiconductors, but I'm not looking at large-scale manufacturing because it would tax our infrastructure there. So medium to small infrastructures to bring them over would be ideal for us, so it doesn't burden our infrastructure, our sewer, our water system, our utility system. Those are considerations that we have to consider. Is overdevelopment good for us or not? So that's what I'm looking at, just medium to small scale. And in order to leverage also our Jones Act waiver and our tariff-free status.
That's the big win. Everybody's looking to escape the extra charges for those tariffs. And then on top of that, we get the bonus for shipping with the Jones Act. So that's a big plus. Wow.
Yeah.
So that sounds like a ton of stuff. Is there anything else that you got going on that you want to share with us?
No, not at this time. I'll let you know when, things come up. There's always something going on in my mind, plans and everything, but there's just too many to mention right now. So once I develop something, I'll let you know.
Oh, hey, I do have a question for you. I don't know if you're able to answer it or not, but there's a pretty big construction project going on in your neck of the woods. I don't know much about it, but I got to try to dig into it. Can you tell us anything about that?
We're talking about the low-income housing.
Is that what that is?
Development. Yes, that's what I've told. It is owned by one of the local residents, Mr. Perry Enos Jr., and some partners, I believe. So they're developing something like the one that Triple J develops, Sandy Homes.
Oh yeah,
that's what I was informed it was. It's a low-income housing using a grant program, a HUD grant program.
Well, they're going to have a great view up there, that's for sure.
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess I'll let you go at that, Senator. I want to say thanks to you. I know it's you are thousands of miles away, and you can reach out and join the phone, join the show to give us an update, and really appreciate it. Thanks for sharing those photos and those images of the behind-the-scenes stuff that people didn't really get to see because you got that special tour. And give us a little preview of what kind of artifacts are coming back home. Really appreciate all the updates.
Thank you, Brad, and thank you, Marianas.
All right, well, thanks, Karen. When do you get back?
I will be back sometime the 20th, the week of the 20th.
All right, well, hopefully we can catch up with you when you hit the ground.
Sure, would love that. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Have a great day.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, that's our Saipan Senator, Selena Babauta, letting us know what's going on in Hawaii and with these artifacts that are coming back home to the Marianas. Truly a remarkable event that's happening. They had a beautiful event for it in Hawaii just yesterday, and she just happened to be there for some other business as well. And while we were doing that, we actually got a call from Indigenous Affairs that we can reach out to. So we're going to call them back right now. Mel, if you're listening, now's the time to pick up your phone. Get ready. We'll call you back here now. Hold on. Let's ring you up. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. And I imagine it may have something to do with what we were just talking about as well.
Good morning, Indigenous Affairs Office.
Good morning, Mel. Hey, this is Brad. You're on the air right now.
Really? Really? You really put me on air?
That's why I messaged you. I said, hey, do you want me to call you on the show? So I'm like, all right, so cool.
No, that's fine.
Okay. So I would not call you. I would not call you out of the blue and put you out there like that.
On the air right now. It's okay, Mr. Brad.
Hey, could you turn that down in the background a little bit? We're picking up all of that.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay. The reason why I'm calling you, Mr. Brad.
Yes, ma'am.
Is to invite you tomorrow morning.
Oh.
For the welcoming of the ancestral from Hawaii.
No way.
Yes, it's going to be at 8:30. We should be up at the arrival at the airport to welcome Mr. Leonard Leon from NMI Museum.
Oh, that'd be great. What time?
8:30.
8:30. All right, so it's going to be during the show. So that means the show is going to have to go on the road up there. That sounds like fun to me.
Yes, that's the reason why I'm calling you, inviting you to come up at the airport to witness the welcoming of our ancestral artifacts and cover the welcoming of Mr. Lenny Leon from NMI Museum, bringing in finally home our ancestral artifacts from Hawaii.
Thank you. Yes, I'll definitely be there. So is there going to be anything special happening? Like, is there a special spot to be at where it'll be better for us to stand or something?
Yes, because there's going to be a Kulu ceremony.
Oh, wow. Is that going to be in the arrivals area? Is that going to be outside?
Yes.
Do you know how?
Outside the arrival area.
Okay. Well,
So that's the reason why I'm calling you to personally invite you so that relay the message to our community that cannot make it and they can see it live. Mr. Lenny Leon from Animal Museum bringing in, the artifacts from Hawaii. Finally, they're coming home.
Yeah, this is just going to be beautiful. I can't wait. I will definitely be there tomorrow, and we'll stream it so that everybody else can see it too. That's the important part. So, not everyone can make it up there, right? So.
Yes, and that would be a very perfect for you to air it live, so our community can see what Mr. Lenny Leon is bringing in from Hawaii and the blessing of the artifacts that are coming in.
Wow. Well, thanks so much. I will 100% be there. I'm putting it in the calendar right now. I can't miss that. So tomorrow's show is going to be extra special as we'll be on the go up there for the welcoming. Okay, so welcoming at airport. All right, so I will definitely be there, and I'm guessing you're going to be there too.
Yes, I'll be there, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Can you tell us a little what's going to happen when they come in? Like, how's the ceremony going to work?
Okay. Once Mr. Lenny coming from the arrival, there's going to be a setup of table that there will be what he brings in, the artifacts will lay down on the table. There's going to be a kulu blowing. There's going to be a blessing, welcoming our artifacts back home.
Wow.
And it's a kind of little ceremony.
Wow,
for tomorrow, for the welcoming home.
Well, we will 100% be there. What a wonderful event this is going to be for this homecoming. So thank you, Melanie. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for calling and giving us a heads up and inviting us. We'll be there.
Well, thank you so much. And that's the reason why I'm calling you. I'm inviting you for tomorrow.
All right. All right. Well, thanks. Well,
I will schedule that one maybe next week that I'll come in your studio.
That'd be great. That'll be awesome. It'll be your second time on the show.
Yes, definitely.
Looking forward to it.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Brett. Have a nice day. Have a nice morning. And memorias dan hapades and zero para toto Marianas.
Thank you so much, Melanie. Same to you. This is wonderful. Have a great day today. Hope it's a great week for you.
Yes, and see you tomorrow, Brett. Thank you.
We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Adios. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, there's Melanie from the Office of Indigenous Affairs giving us the invite for tomorrow. How wonderful that's going to be. So we will be there at the airport, so you guys are going to be able to see these artifacts and the whole ceremony tomorrow when it all happens. All right, guys, we've been talking for a while, huh? That kind of works that way sometimes. All right, we're going to take a real quick break. We come back, we'll have more. We have like other topics to get to too, but what a start to today's show. We'll see you in just a little bit.
Got Medicaid? Paradise Dental's got you covered. Got you covered from the moment you walk in the door with some of Saipan's best smiles. Medicaid covers your fillings, your extractions, and your checkups with no out-of-pocket expense. And Medicaid covers all of your x-rays without any additional cost to you. So remember, if you've got Medicaid, you're covered. Don't wait for a toothache. Call Paradise Dental today. Come here often.
Hi, I'm Shauna Brenfleck, nurse practitioner and owner of Island Skin Solutions and Wellness Clinic. We are Saipan's only medical spa offering a wide range of services to meet your unique skincare goals. We offer exclusive medical grade skincare products that can only be purchased from a licensed medical professional. We also have the CNMI's only master esthetician who offers new patient consultations that include a mini facial tailored to your needs. Schedule your consultation today to get started on your skincare journey.
If you see something, say something, and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Sit down. I'm Paul Stevens, Fox News. President Trump is expected to meet in person with Russian leader Vladimir Putin this coming Friday in Alaska to talk about a possible peace deal between Russia and Ukraine. From the White House, Fox's Lucas Tomlinson.
Vice President J.D. Vance, he says that both sides are likely not going to get what they want in this deal, should it happen.
We're going to try to find some negotiated settlement that the Ukrainians and the Russians can live with, where they can live in relative peace, where the killing stops.
Ahead of the summit in Alaska Friday, Russia continues launching drones into Ukraine with the help from China and Iran. Ukraine has been open to Trump-led ceasefire for months, but Putin continues to refuse. Russia wants more territory in eastern Ukraine's Donbas region, where most of Ukraine's minerals are located, and it's not clear what any potential deal with Russia would impact with Trump's mineral rights deal with Ukraine.
And this will be the first in-person meeting between leaders of the U.S. and Russia since Moscow invaded Ukraine back in 2022. Meantime, Ukraine's top diplomat saying her nation will be praying for a ceasefire to come from Friday's big meeting. Details from Fox's Gernal Scott.
Ukraine's U.S. Ambassador Oksana Markarova said on CBS Face the Nation she hopes President Trump and sanctions imposed in the war.
It's Ukrainian citizens, Ukrainian cities, Ukrainian defenders on the front lines, Ukrainian children who suffer every day. So yes, we want Putin to stop.
The White House said it is open to adding Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky to the Alaska meeting. Should that happen, Markarova said,
he is ready to be anywhere to advance the agenda of peace.
Zelensky says there is no path toward the war's end that will include Ukraine giving up any of its land to Russia. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
And America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, I'm Trey Gowdy, host of the Trey Gowdy Podcast. I hope you will join me every Tuesday and Thursday as we navigate life together and hopefully find ourselves a little bit better on the other side.
Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcast.com.
The office of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying the Prime Minister has spoken with President Trump about Israel's new Gaza offensive plans. Israel now planning to temporarily take control of Gaza City as it works to defeat Hamas and win the release of all the remaining hostages. Specific details of that conversation, though, have not been released. The U.S. Government Accountability Office issuing a warning that dependence on foreign-made components for U.S. military equipment presents a national security threat. Fox's Jennifer Griffin at the Pentagon.
The Defense Department relies on more than 200,000 global suppliers to build weapons, but federal contractors are not contractually obligated to tell DoD from where their manufacturing components originate, like the titanium needed to build nuclear submarines, which often comes from hostile nations like China. The report notes the U.S. has only one foundry that can produce large titanium casting required for some key weapon systems. In April, President Trump tasked Defense Secretary Hegseth to spearhead a strategy on how to reduce dependence on China by this October.
And the Pentagon found that in fiscal year 2023, most components in its equipment came from foreign suppliers. South Korea's military saying that it detected North Korea removing some of its loudspeakers from the inter-Korean border. Now, in recent months, South Korean border residents have complained that North Korean speakers blasted irritating sounds like howling animals and pounding gongs. South Korea removing the speakers from the border areas last week to try and ease tensions in the region. 6 people, including a 5-year-old girl, wounded in a shooting in Baltimore. Gunfire breaking out last night as folks gathered for a block party. 5-year-old girl struck in the hand. Her injury does not appear to be serious. Police still looking for a suspect or suspects and a possible motive for that shooting. I'm Paul Stevens, and this is Fox News.
This is Jimmy Fallon, inviting you to join me for Fox Across America, where we'll discuss every single one of the Democrats' dumb ideas. Just kidding. It's only a 3-hour show. Listen live at noon Eastern or get the podcast at foxacrossamerica.com.
Wake up, sunshine, it's a brand new day. Brad's got the stories that'll light your way. Take a smile on his face, he's ready to share. Share. Good morning, Marianas. Feel the love in the air. Good morning, Marianas. Come join the fun. Together we'll shine like the morning sun.
Waves crashing in, hear the oceans call. Brad brings the news that connects us all. From the islands to the world, those kind of weird. Good morning, Marianas, the best time of year.
Good morning, Marianas, let's start the day. With laughter and stories, come what may.
All right, Marianas, it is 9 o'clock in the morning now. You're all caught up with all your news, sports, and weather together over here in the Marianas. It is 9 a.m., and that means that if you're not at work already, you better send a message because your boss probably notices. It's true. That's how it works. Hey, speaking of noticing, we noticed all kinds of cool things that happened over the weekend, but we also noticed the way things shook out on Friday when we were getting ready to get out of here. We ended up getting a message from folks at Department of Public Safety that they were looking for somebody. They went to go and arrest them. They said that they weren't ready. They were trying to avoid being captured and all that stuff. So then yesterday, we posted this on the page already. We did this yesterday. We rolled in. The legal counsel for Brandon Camacho reached out to us, said, hey, that's not exactly the way we see it. And what did they say? I told you, one of my federal security directors back in the day said, Brad, there's two sides to every pancake. And so they decided to give us the other side of the pancake yesterday when we had a call. Charity Hobson is the legal counsel for Brandon Camacho, and she had this to say while we were on the phone yesterday.
On Thursday, August 7th of last week, my office contacted DPS because we were aware that they were interested in speaking with Brandon Camacho. So I've been retained by Brandon, and at that time, DPS had said that there was no arrest warrant for him. And so counsel informed DPS that Mr. Camacho would be exercising his constitutional right to remain silent, but that if an arrest warrant were obtained, that we would accept service and arrange a voluntary surrender. And DPS acknowledged that this was the arrangement. The next day on Friday, August 8, 2025 at 3:35 p.m., the Superior Court issued a warrant for Mr. Camacho's arrest. And the DPS officers, they arrived at his place of residence at approximately 5:07 p.m., and they were unable to locate him there. At 5:16 p.m., DPS finally made its first attempt to contact me, and I returned the call less than an hour later to arrange the voluntary surrender. So he's been represented by counsel. He's been available for lawful and peaceful arrest, and any suggestion that he was uncooperative or evading arrest is false.
All right, and so that's what she had to say. So that was their official statement that they gave us on the phone when we spoke yesterday afternoon. The arraignment and all that stuff will happen today. We'll find out what happens and if he's free to be released and all that. But, we had the conversation about it, and, it seemed like there was an awful lot of folks who went to go get him as well when they did show up to his house and he wasn't there. An awful lot of folks were there. Now, we're not experts in law enforcement by any means. We don't tell anybody how, we don't pretend to tell anybody how to do their job. Safety of the officers, paramount import, right? I mean, the most important thing is that your officers are safe when they're going to get guys that they think, it would be better if they are brought to justice or they're brought into the Department of Corrections to face the start of the justice system. So if they bring a lot of people to that party, then that's based on their years of experience and their expertise and all that stuff. But we heard that there were a whole bunch of folks who showed up, locked and cocked, ready to go and pick him up, and he wasn't there. And then, but everything got arranged, and we're learning more about Brandon, about who he was and what he did and all that stuff, because the first thing that we see about it is everybody saw that video of going whacking a bat, and it didn't look like a wooden bat at all. I mean, I wonder what that thing was because it kind of bounced. I don't know what he was wielding. I don't know how that fight started. I don't know anything about it. I got a lot of messages from folks. Some of them were a little more colorful than the others, that's for sure. But this guy is somebody that we're going to talk about in the next as this story continues, because I want to find out more about him. We found a video of him with the Library of Congress sharing his veteran story. As a veteran, he's got 5 Purple Hearts. What's the story that led to that? And someone like that, you know that there's some level of PTSD involved. Now, I'll tell you what, real veterans, I know that they don't walk around and tell everybody, hey, this is me. Hey, I got PTSD. Hey, I got a Purple Heart. Hey, look at me. I'm a veteran. Pat me on the back. People don't do that kind of stuff. But, it is something for other vets can understand some of that stuff. I can't speak about anything that happened, and I don't really know him either. But the thing is that, we're finding out more about this whole situation, and we're going to find out as it goes through the court system and everything too. And again, some of the particulars, who are we to judge, right? But still, some of the particulars on these things are going to be coming out through the justice system, and we're going to see what they are. Does anyone get a free pass because they're a veteran? No, that doesn't give you a free pass for anything. But it does give you $1 off on Transit CNMI when you're traveling on the Blue Line. That's for sure. But we're going to have to find this out. I'll tell you, I'm conflicted, talking about it. It really sucks to see when vets get into situations like that. And hey, veterans are just the same as everybody else. Everybody's got the same issues going through life. Veterans might have a little bit more that they're coming back home with, but people don't use that as their defense for stuff. So, we're going to find out about it, and I'm interested to learn more about him. This full interview that he's got for the Library of Congress, the guy definitely looks like he's pretty solid. I don't know. I can't tell you enough. I can't tell you more about that other than we're all going to find out about that together. We'll head down to the courthouse and hear more about it. There is a meeting at the governor's office here that we're going to leave for today. Here, let me scroll back to. Sorry. So today in the governor's conference room, there's a meeting with reps from the United States Department of Transportation that we're going to go up there and we're going to bring that to you live here. So we're going to get out of here now and then start making our way up there. And then we'll be back again tomorrow for more Good Morning Marianas. I want to say thanks to all you guys for tuning in today. I'm telling you, you guys, you think it's easy. You try tap dancing around everything and every issue. It's not easy. What can we do? We can talk about a couple things before we get out of here, but real quick, just a few letters that we ended up getting from our Congresswoman's office this morning, which are pretty good. These are all the stuff from May, which is good. Is this the one that went out first? Yep. Here, let's get you on the share screen first with this stuff. Let's see if I can't do that for you first, because that's what I'd like to do. And bam, bam, bam. See if we can't do this for you. All right, let's do this. These are based on a series of letters that went out from the governor's office, or from our Congresswoman's office to the FBI and to the Attorney General about stuff that was happening with, all the folks that came here from the FBI. Excuse me, I had to sneeze a little bit there. I guess this is nothing to sneeze at, but still, I had to anyway. This is more from the Congresswoman who reached out. It says it right here. It says, Dear Attorney General Bondi and Director Patel, this was in May. It says, I'm writing to formally forward the attached correspondence I received from Governor Arnold Palacios, Northern Mariana Islands. In his letter, Governor reiterated his call for an increased FBI presence in the CNMI and references considerable evidence in his possession in relation to public corruption. Given the seriousness of these assertions and the importance of safeguarding the integrity of law enforcement efforts in the Commonwealth, I'm referring the matter to your respective offices for appropriate review and action. It is essential that any evidence of potential criminal conduct be promptly and properly transmitted to federal authorities to ensure thorough and impartial investigation. I respectfully request that your agencies engage with the governor's office to ensure any of the information in their possession is secured and handled in accordance with federal procedures. All right, that was one. This was the reply from the Congresswoman to the Gov, and said, hey, thanks for sending me that, and I appreciate your commitment to rooting out public corruption. And she said that she wholeheartedly agrees that addressing the corruption was a vital priority and all that. But then what we got was the response from the FBI a couple weeks later. It said, hey, thanks for your letter. Our Honolulu field office, which covers the NMI, has a permanent resident agency in the CNMI. FBI would like to invite you and your territorial staff to schedule a tour and a briefing on the Saipan office, where the FBI special agents probably work every day to keep your constituents safe. We hope to be able to host you and your staff at the Saipan office in the future to discuss FBI's work against all types of federal violations in the NMI, as well as our partnerships with local law enforcement and community outreach opportunities. We appreciate
bringing Governor Palacios' concerns to our attention. Governor Palacios is familiar with our special agent stationed in the Saipan office and has interacted with them numerous times in the past. While we cannot discuss our current investigations, our special agents continue to work diligently on criminal and national security matters in the CNMI. And please let us know when you're looking at her. I mean, it doesn't sound like the best reply to what she was asking about. Does it? It does not sound like the best reply. It kind of sounds to me like, hey, every day we're here for you. As opposed to answering directly, we'll schedule a pickup time for this. I don't know. The volume's low. Hold on. My volume's low? Hold on. Let me turn this. The volume is low. Wait. My volume can't be low. It looks like it's pretty loud. I see it loud at all the levels. Maybe my music was too low. Is that better? Because maybe I was just talking low. I was a low talker, a Seinfeld low talker. Anyway, yeah, the music is low, but I should be all right. I'm a loud talker anyway. Yeah. Be careful to not get whacked. Yeah, I'll tell you where you won't get whacked. Out at Godfather's Beach Bar. Nice. You like that one? There you go, Caleb. They got great deals, 4 p.m. They're open every day at 4 p.m. They got $5 buckets of Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Miller Lite, and Asahi, and they've got $25 buckets of Corona and Heineken. Oh, and they've got $6 drafts as well of Sierra Nevada, 805 Blue Moon. Hold on, wait. Oh, geez, I forgot the other one. And it's good, too. We have them in the top corner of the screen. You'll be able to see it. It'll come up again. Wait, what's the other one? What am I missing one? Fat Tire, right? I think that's it. Yeah. So $6 draft, Sierra Nevada, 805, Blue Moon, and Fat Tire for $6. $25 buckets of Corona and Heineken, $20 buckets of Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Miller Lite, and Asahi. There you go. So that's it. That's what we got for the show today. And man, we've got a lot going on, no doubt. And we're doing it all over the place. And, man, in the meantime, we're going to get ready and hop up to Capitol Hill, get ready at the governor's conference room for that meeting. We want to get there plenty early, and we're going to bring it to you live. Tomorrow, we'll have our show to go. Again, thanks to Melanie letting us know about the ceremony and everything up at the airport. We'll be there live, so we'll start the show early, and we'll do our show live from there. Hopefully, we'll get a bunch of interviews with folks to keep it nice and interesting while we're up there and hanging out. For the ceremony, and that'll be the show on the road tomorrow. And then we'll be back to normal on Wednesday, and it should be pretty great. I want to thank all of you guys for tuning in. Really, I can't tell you enough how much I love that you guys are here. And as a reminder, when you guys got stuff going on, let us know about it so we can let you guys know about what's happening here. We can't let the community know about what's going on if you don't let us know about what's going on. So that's it. That's our teamwork. That's our commitment to you. All right, guys, that's it for us today. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning, bright and early, 7:30. Well, actually, we'll be up there a little bit earlier, up at the airport. Take care. Talk to you soon. Have a great day, Marianas. This is going to be your best week so far. You didn't even know it. Talk to you soon, guys.
Netanyahu speak. I'm Deborah Valentine, Fox News. President Donald Trump spoke with Israel's leader as the Israeli government weighs a takeover of Gaza City. Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv has more.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and President Trump spoke over the phone. The Prime Minister's office says they talked about the hostages and the ongoing war, and that the Prime Minister thanked President Trump for his support throughout this conflict. The hostages are believed to be held in the center of the Strip in a city called Deir al-Balah. This is where many people are sheltering. It's been largely untouched by the Israeli military on the ground, and that is because they are concerned about the 20 living hostages and the bodies of 30 others that are still being held by Hamas. We've heard from these families. They are concerned that if this military operation moves forward, their loved ones could be killed or injured.
The IDF's chief of staff reportedly expressed disagreement over the plan. President Trump expected to meet in person with Russian President Vladimir Putin on Friday in Alaska to discuss a possible peace deal between Russia and Ukraine. Fox's Lucas Tomlinson reports from the White House.
Vice President J.D. Vance, he says that both sides are likely not going to get what they want in this deal, should it happen.
We're going to try to find some negotiated settlement that the Ukrainians and the Russians can live with, where they can live in relative peace, where the killing stops.
Ahead of the summit in Alaska Friday, Russia continues launching drones into Ukraine with the help from China and Iran. Ukraine has been open to Trump-led ceasefire for months, but Putin continues to refuse. Russia wants more territory in eastern Ukraine's Donbas region, where most of Ukraine's minerals are located, and it's not clear what any potential deal with Russia would impact with Trump's mineral rights deal with Ukraine.
This will be the first in-person meeting between the leaders of the U.S. and Russia since Moscow ordered the invasion of Ukraine in 2022. America's listening to Fox News.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
Hey there, it's me, Kennedy. Make sure to check out my podcast, Kennedy Saves the World. It is 5 days a week, every week. Download and listen at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.
President Trump says he'll announce plans Monday for the federal government to step up the fight on crime in the nation's capital. Fox's Jack Callahan has the details.
The president plans a news conference at the White House to spell out plans to reduce violent crime in Washington, D.C., and physically clean up the Capitol. In a weekend social media post, the president said D.C.'s Mayor Muriel Bowser is a good person who has tried, but the crime numbers have only gotten worse and the city dirtier. Hundreds of federal agents, including some from the FBI, the DEA, the Secret Service, and U.S. Capitol Police, among other agencies, were deployed Friday and Saturday nights in the district in an effort to drive down violent crime. Jack Callahan, Fox News.
Texas Democrats are still out of the state in protest of Republicans' redistricting plans, and the federal government is now stepping in. Fox's Brooke Taylor is in Austin with the details.
Republicans have made many threats to bring back the dozens of Democrats who are in blue states to block that redistricting vote. They are taking action to have them removed from office. The FBI has stepped in to help track them down. Civil arrest warrants have also been issued, and the House Speaker and Attorney General are working to enforce them in both Illinois and California. Democrats say they are going to hold out until the end of the 2-week special session, even as Governor Greg Abbott says he's just going to call more special sessions until they vote on the redistricting map.
Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott also imposing a fine of $500 per day for the missing lawmakers, but a court has issued a temporary restraining order to pause those charges. A U.S. tourist visiting Puerto Rico for Bad Bunny's residency was fatally shot earlier today. So far, no arrests announced. I'm Deborah Valentine. This is Fox News.
This is Jason Chaffetz from the Jason in the House podcast. Join me every Monday to dive deeper into the latest political headlines and chat with remarkable guests.
Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcast.com
or wherever you download podcasts.
If you see something, say something, and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at NMICrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Good morning, Marianas. So many things we gotta discuss. Happy day, Tirawamian greetings. To Rhoda, Guam, Saipan, and Tinian. For all your island news. From a beautiful place with Pacific views. It's always so much fun on Good Morning, Marianas.
Got Medicaid? Paradise Dental's got you covered. Got you covered from the moment you walk in the door with some of Saipan's best smiles. Medicaid covers your fillings, your extractions, and your checkups with no out-of-pocket expense. And Medicaid covers all of your x-rays without any additional cost to you. So remember, if you've got Medicaid, you're covered. Don't wait for a toothache. Call Paradise Dental today. Come here often.
Hi, I'm Shauna Brenfleck, nurse practitioner and owner of Island Skin Solutions and Wellness Clinic. We are Saipan's only medical spa offering a wide range of services to meet your unique skincare goals. We offer exclusive medical grade skincare products that can only be purchased from a licensed medical professional. We also have the CNMI's only master esthetician who offers new patient consultations that include a mini facial tailored to your needs. Schedule your consultation today to get started on your skincare journey.